Hello and welcome everybody to Talking Golf Tuesday. Today we have a driver comparison test question. I was hitting both of these at the range the other day, and the Maverick really stood out to me as a good driver. It felt really good, possibly sounding better than my M2. My M2 makes a significant thwack when I hit it. If you guys are familiar with the M2, yeah, this is the 2017 version of the Talormade M2. One of my favorite drivers. This one's 9.5, set at standard loft. And then I was comparing it to a Maverick 9 degree here, and I think I like the Maverick sound a little bit more. Now, by way of looks, you see, they both can compete. The bright orange here on the Callaway Maverick is kind of my personality. I like big, bold, brash, loud things. That's why I like the M2. Look at that top line. It's that huge white line. You recognize that from a mile away. When somebody winds up like my neighbor, he's wonderful. He's in his 80s and he still golfs. He has an M1 driver, okay? And every time he lines up, I see that huge white line. I'm like, yeah, let's go Talormade, you know? And you can see it from a mile away. The Maverick on the top line is much more tame. It's not as loud, but the sole, it has an orange sole, which is super awesome. It's like it's spent one too many days at the tanning salon. Just one too many days, just getting that nice orange tan. And it makes me happy to look at this. So between these two, which one would you pick? I would actually take them to an indoor driving range. I'll make my decision here soon. You might continue to see the M2 as like my go-to driver, or maybe the Maverick. And these two are really because it ultimately comes down to price. Okay, like, well, I'm always looking to maximize my driver. Like, what's the best I can get for the least amount of money? You remember how, like, in calculus, you always talk about the maximum, you know? That's what I'm looking for. How do I max out the bang for the buck? And right now, the Maverick might be it. But it has to dethrone the Talormade M2. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts in the comments below about these two particular drivers. I understand there are lots of others. I have some other more modern drivers. I have access to some, and people are willing to sell me theirs. And I'm just not, so like for example, a Sim 2 came up recently. You know, someone's offering me a Sim 2 and I've hit the Sim 2 and I'm just not that thrilled about it because the aluminum components in it. I would rather have something that's solid titanium, not solid, hollow titanium, made out of titanium and carbon fiber rather than like aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber. Does that make sense? Or just all carbon fiber? My preference, my opinion, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now let's move on to fantasy golf. I'm just going to continue holding on to these drivers because, hey, you know, I like golf and I like drivers. So Erik van Rooyen, I think I'm saying that right, dedicated obviously his performance to his friend. It's a touching story. You can go read about it online. I don't want to get too much into it here. I'll get emotional. My father passed this year, and so I'm a little sensitive to certain things. And so he really just came back, you know, on that last day, like just went tearing past everybody. Cooch! I lived in Georgia for a long time, so Matt Kuchar, you know, was a local hero. For some people, it's fun. Anybody has it. But either way, Matt Kuchar did really well. Viejas, is that how you say it? Did really well. So yeah, it was an interesting tournament in Mexico. So I'll put the leaders up probably on this side. You can see how well you did this week. I don't think I was in the top. I think I was tied for 12th or something. And I'll also put the season leaders up there. So congratulations to everybody dominating this season. So be sure to set your lineups. Is there a tournament this weekend? If there is a tournament this weekend, be sure to set your lineup. This is your reminder. Today or tomorrow, set your lineup so you don't miss out on very crucial fantasy points. If you'd like to join us on our fantasy league, I'll put a link in the description below. It's just PGA Tour Fantasy Golf. You can create a free account. It's free. And join us, and you too can make the top 10 list if you're in the top 10. Sometimes I say things that just don't make sense. Either way, huge shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. I have an Amazon shop. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. That Amazon shop is in the links in the description below. And please subscribe if you enjoy this content. Thank you so much for watching. I am The Vintage Golfer.